Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to go over a couple quick things that we've got going on here right now. And let me get you turned around here. Obviously, to start off with, we've still got the Firebird here, and that's been out of commission since the last race at Road America in October of 23. Right now it's early March of 24. So she basically came home and got parked, and this is where she's been sitting. So we got some stuff to go over on that mainly, and what took it out of the race was the rear differential done blowed up. So we got a replacement for that. This is a Ford 9-inch from Quick Performance, but it's all set up to bolt right into a 4th gen F body. So it's got all the appropriate suspension links and spring mounts, and I got it ordered with the correct housing ends for the stock F-body brakes, which is what I have on there now in the back. So that should drop right in. Found myself a third member, which I have to get gears for in a rebuild kit. But once that's all together, that can go in the car. And we also have to replace the fuel pump because that died as well. So yeah. It was a comedy of events, so to speak. It's just one thing after another. Isn't that how it always goes, though, with racing? And then there's a few other odds and ends to take care of with the car. Some wiring changes, really minor stuff, and things like the power steering pump, which is completely functional right now. If you look really close at that fitting, I can barely get a fingernail between the fitting and the back of the pulley. That's how close it is. So I found myself a Banjo fitting that I'll put on there, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. That'll give me a lot more space there, because instead the Banjo fitting will allow this hose to connect basically like right here, and it'll come straight out at a 90-degree angle, and so this won't be so close to interfering there. What else is going on with this thing? Just lots of little odds and ends. I just realized, I knew this was rubbing here, the hood was rubbing, but I just put the hood down a minute ago to try to figure out where this is rubbing, and there's that much of a gap between the front edge of the hood and this down here, because it's resting right here. So I have to rebend this, get it bent back a little further so we're not getting that interference there. Also the diff cooler setup. So one of the things that I believe assisted in killing the old rear end was heat. So got ourselves the items needed to take care of that. So all these pieces here are going to assist in keeping the rear diff cool. We've got a tilt and fluid pump, which is designed for continuous use. Obviously, we've got the Durali cooler and fan combo there. Also got, this is something else. This is for the power steering pump, actually. This is a underdrive pulley for the power steering pump. Alternator. Sorry, alternator. I got parts everywhere, apparently. Then filter for the diff cooler, and there's that Banjo fitting for the power steering pump. But yeah, so there's lots and lots of stuff going on. Lots of little things to take care of. But the real thing I wanted to show you guys was this next little project I got sitting right next to here. I guess technically I don't have it sitting here, but my buddy Chris brought his Lemons/Lucky Dog race car over here. And that's what we got right here. So obviously it's missing a couple things, but this is a 2G Eclipse. So the 2nd generation Mitsubishi Eclipse. This one was a base model, so it had the 420A engine, which is, more or less like the Dodge Neon engine. Not hardly anything at all for aftermarket support with that engine. So he has opted to put in a 6-cylinder out of a 2006 Pontiac Grand Prix GTP. So we've got the supercharged 3800 V6. Those things make almost 300 horsepower, which is not quite triple what this thing made from the factory. So this thing is going to be, I think it's going to be a handful. The torque steer hopefully isn't going to be terrible, but we'll see. But if he can keep it straight, the thing's going to be a rocket. It's, that thing's going to make as much or almost as much power as this. And it's like, I don't know, 800 pounds or more lighter. So yeah, the power to weight ratio on this thing is going to be stupid. But we're at the point now where we need to just get it down on the ground and start figuring out where we're going to put motor mounts and things like that. He also found a manual transmission. These came in the Ecotech cars. So like, I think not the Cavalier, what the hell was after the Cavalier? Cobalts. So like the Cobalts had these manual transmissions in them. And apparently that will bolt up to this with a few minor adjustments, and then he can have his manual transmission in here, and that actually helps because that's going to give us more space to work with over here. It's going to be tight. We did a lot of measuring and it should fit, but it's going to be tight. Probably the biggest issue after motor mounts is going to be exhaust, because the exhaust is going to, he bought a header set up for it, but the way it's designed, it wants to come out like right into the firewall there. So we haven't decided yet if we're going to cut a hole in the firewall and route some exhaust and cover it through the passenger area there, or if we're just going to go with regular manifolds and dump them down in front of this cross member and then back. So there's still a lot to figure out, but it's going to be a cool little project. It's probably going to require some head scratching and some blood and tears and sweat, and I don't know, we might have to sacrifice a chicken or two to get this thing to work, but we'll see what happens. So stay tuned for that, because that is coming fast and furious here in the near future, because he's got 2 months to have this thing done before its debut race with Lucky Dog here in Minnesota at Brainerd International Raceway. So we should have both these cars there for that. So yeah, keep checking the channel, and I will keep you apprised of progress. Thanks, everyone.